Well, minutes after the Patriots won the AFC Championship game last weekend, influential odds maker BetCris put the Rams as 1.5-point favorites in the Super Bowl. Their head odds maker actually had the Rams rated 3.5 points better than New England, but he didn't want to make the line that high. Less than 20 minutes later, there were so many bets on the Patriots, the line had swung all the way to the Patriots as a 2.5-point favorite. And since last weekend, an overwhelming majority of the bets have still been placed on the Patriots. So, Shannon, that was a lot, but how do you explain this?
Because I believe they got the initial line wrong. It's hard for me to believe that someone would think that on a neutral site, New England would not be favored. Because we've not seen this in a very, very long time. When was the last time on a neutral field the New England Patriots were not the favorite? You'd have to go all the way back to their first Super Bowl in 2001 on a neutral field. Now, with that being said, Skip, I'm surprised that he would think that 3.5, considering that's Tom Brady, who we all, a lot of people believe that he's the GOAT. Okay, I won't debate that. Coach Belichick, we know what he represents. On the 46-man roster, they have 82 games of Super Bowl experience. Their 46-man roster, the Rams, they have 5. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl game experience than the entire roster of the LA Rams. So for me, Skip, it's just hard for me to believe that they would set a line given that the Patriots, they've been to 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls. The Rams haven't been to a Super Bowl since 2001. And that you would think on a neutral field they would be favored by 3.5, even though you set the line, even 1.5.
Okay.
No, I believe they got it wrong to begin with, and I believe this was what the initial line should have been. 2.5, maybe even 3 points. So I was shocked because I remember calling Steve, after the game, and I asked Steve Owens,
my former Heisman winner.
Yeah, my chief research.
Yeah,
he's head of research and development.
Your puppet master.
You know what, Skip, look. The top
what did he tell you to say?
Steve Owens, who's chief research of Shannon Sharp Development.
Okay.
I like, what's the line? He said, the Rams by 1.5. I say, Rams 1.5? I'm like, who said this line? Lo and behold, he texted me back, it's Patriots by 2.5. I was like, oh, that's more like it. But I thought it was a misprint. He was like, no, because they betted so heavily in front of the Patriots. Skip, if you're going to give the Patriots points, who's not taking that? I mean, think about it now. You're giving the Patriots points. Somebody got the Patriots minus 1.5. So that's why I was surprised, Skip. I think the line initially was wrong. I think this line is more in line with what I thought it would be, 2.5, 3 points, because it's just hard for me to believe that someone would set a line in which the Patriots would be underdogs on a neutral field in a Super Bowl.
Interesting. Do you remember what happened in the second half at Foxborough when Patrick Mahomes and company visited on that Sunday night, mid-season, week 6, right?
Yes.
They scored Kansas City 31 points in the second half. Then in the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead, they had the ball, Kansas City did, for 3 minutes of the fourth quarter and scored 24 points. What does that tell you about Belichick's defense? It's torchable. It's flammable. This is the odds maker, the one that they all wait to see what he sets. What line does he set? I think BetCris is located in Costa Rica. So Vegas just sits back waiting for what line are they going to set. And his power ranking, his power rating told him to set it at the Rams as the favorites by 3.5 points. 3.5. Rams minus 3.5 points. And he thought, according to the ESPN article, he thought, I can't do that. Let's try 1.5. And then he sat, and in 17 minutes, he watches his computer screen go whoop the other way. And all of a sudden, the bettors have made it all the way to New England as the favorite by 2.5.
If they'd have put Atlanta at 3.5, they'd have bankrupt Vegas. Because so much money would have came in. You think they came in at 1.5. You set that line at the Patriots at minus 3.5. And you're going to get people coming there dropping them. You're going to get those whales.
I don't know about that. Because I listened to Tom Brady last night, and he made some strong points. He said They have the best D-line in pro football, do they not?
He said the same thing about
Wait, hold on. We just opened this show with you telling me the best player in the Super Bowl is Aaron Donald.
He's one player.
Okay, but he is the player in the middle of that line. They have 4 players in that line, all drafted in the top 14 of the first round.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And Ebukam he's a stud, man. Every time I look up, he's making plays, and he doesn't even count in the starters, right?
You said the same thing about Kansas City.
And what did Brady also say? They have 2 of the best interceptors, meaning the 2 cornerbacks, in NFL history.
Yeah.
That's what Brady said last night. Is that true about Talib and Marcus Peters? It is true.
I don't know about NFL history, but they get
but
two
both
guys to get
of
their
them.
hands on the ball.
Hey, do they not both? Are they not thieves in the night, man? I mean, they can get their hands on the football.
I think Peters takes far too many risks, and you have to be careful taking.
But he has had big interceptions before.
Yeah, and he's had big.
Okay, I got it, but he wasn't lying when he said that. And he also threw in the fact their special teams have accounted for 5 other touchdowns. So your man, Young Fossil, John Fossil, he does a really nice job.
Oh, he's great.
They take risks. They do smart things. They do clever, creative things. They got a young genius calling the plays. And what do they have at receiver? Are their receivers better than the Patriot receivers? Yes, you would say they are, right?
Yeah, as a whole, yeah.
Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods was their leading receiver in catches, yards, tied for the most touchdowns. But Brandon Cooks is their electric man. He can get deep on you, right?
Yes.
Okay, and the 2 tight ends combined. Gerald Everett is a stud to me. He's athletic and he can run. And Tyler Higbee, every time I look up, he's making a big catch because he's a big, huge body with good hands.
Right.
So the combination of those 2, I would take them over what's left of Gronkowski right now.
Right.
Okay, so now what? The offensive lines. They're a wash because the Rams got a really good offensive. They've been opening holes for CJ like crazy.
Yeah.
Did they not gash my Cowboys, especially in the first half? I've never seen anything. Well, it is saying a lot.
Did you see you guys?
Did you see what my Cowboys had just done to Seattle's #1 rushing attack? Remember that?
I see what your dad and see what you guys did in the Pro Bowl too. Scored 7 points.
Hey, well,
so your offense, because your offense,
it was a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke.
Okay?
Your offense is not that good.
What was a joke was that the Rams ran for 170 yards in the first half and 273 on a defensive front that had stymied the New Orleans Saints run game.
Where was your guy?
And Seattle's run game.
Where was DeMarcus Lawrence?
I don't know.
What about the Wolf Hunter?
It's a good question.
The Wolf Hunter.
I saw the Wolf Hunter. He's in the Pro Bowl.
You saw him with the Pro Bowl? I saw him on skates against the Rams.
Did you? Well,
Did you see
but
Chris
that has a lot to do with an offensive line of the Rams that's right there with the Patriots. Am I right?
Yes.
It's right there. Okay? So how about the running backs? Do you want Gurley and CJ or do you want Sony and Burkhead? Who would you take?
And James White.
Okay? And James White, but he just catches the ball more than he runs it.
But
he runs it here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
Little sneaky runs.
But see, that's
he's like 5'8".
Hey, it works for them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Skip, is that the Patriots don't have, per se, name guys at position. They don't have a Todd Gurley at running back, or they don't have Aaron Donald. And that's what makes Coach Belichick so amazing.
They had 1 Pro Bowler on defense, Stephon Gilmore. He is a stud. He is right there with Talib or Marcus.
Yeah.
He can play in their league.
But I was
1. That's all you got.
I was surprised that it opened at 1.5. Hearing him talk, I was surprised.
Why would you be surprised? Because on paper, I'm serious. This looks like a mismatch on paper.
Well, they're on paper.
Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. It looks like a mismatch.
On paper, there have been times that on paper the Patriots should have looked like they should have lost. But you don't play the game on paper. If you're going to base it on history and what it showed you, Skip. They don't be dogs. The Patriots are not normally dogs, especially at neutral site. This was one of the few times they've been a dog, even in the AFC Championship game. That's not normal for them, Skip.
So why is that? Why did this spread swing so wildly?
The bet came in on the Patriots.
It's real simple. You got to face the fact. Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady. Period. End of story. Period. End of story.
They bet.
That's why.
Hold on.
It was the 41-year-old quarterback.
Wait a minute then. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, Jenny. Hold on. You make my argument for me then.
Interesting.
So let me get. So when they set the line, the New England Patriots did not have Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady. So they didn't have him then, huh?
The smartest guy setting spreads said the Rams are clearly better on a neutral field than the Patriots. So he's saying Brady's not going to be able to cancel this advantage out. But all the bettors said, I'm taking Brady. I'm taking Brady. They all want Brady.
Well, who you going
They
with?
leaped all over
Who you
it.
going with?
Huh?
You going with the guy that sets the line, or you going with the better skill, Bayless?
I'm going number 12.
No. I want to know. You say those guys. Oh, you talking about this guy right here? You talking about Vegas sits back?
He is the guy.
Okay,
no, he is the guy.
Okay, then. So what's up?
Well, that's what happens to Brady right and left. Every time we look up, somebody like a Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp is saying he can't beat the Chargers.
Oh my God.
He can't beat the Chiefs, and he just did it back to back. How is that possible? That's why all those bettors said we ain't messing with him. What do I always tell you? There's one man in sports you do not bet against, and that's what all the bettors said. Wade Phillips?
Yep.
Really?
Let's talk about that later.
Well, the one guy that may get in Tom Brady's way, how about Aaron Donald? Is he the best player in the Super Bowl? Maybe Vegas is paying attention to him. Sean Merriman answers.